Single Dad stood up to the rude billionaire woman, and her shocking reaction changed everything. The first time I saw her, I knew she had power, the kind that makes people bend, nod, and apologize before they even know what they're apologizing for. She stepped into the cafe like she owned the city, perfectly dressed, heels clicking on the polished floor, a frozen smile that could cut glass. And there I was, balancing a tray of hot chocolate and muffins for my son Max, who was tugging at my sleeve, impatient to get to our small corner table. She knocked over a chair as she passed. No apologies, just a sharp glance like it was our fault the chair existed. I felt Max's eyes widen behind me. Kids notice everything. And then she spoke. "Excuse me, watch where you're serving." Her voice dripped disdain. "Do you know who I am?" I didn't flinch. I took a slow breath and met her gaze. "No, ma'am, but I do know that everyone deserves to be treated with respect." Her jaw tightened. "Respect? You think I need respect from you? Everyone?" I said gently, placing Max's hand over mine. "Even you, even me, even a kid with a chocolate mustache like this one." Max snickered. And maybe it was that innocent laughter, or maybe it was the way my voice didn't shake, but for a moment, she froze. The cafe fell into an awkward silence. People watched, curious. I felt a pang of worry. What if this blew up? But something inside me refused to bow. Because kindness isn't about who's richer, faster, or louder. It's about holding your ground when it counts. She scoffed and turned away, clearly unconvinced. I thought that was the end of it. But the universe had other plans. A week later, I found a letter slipped under our apartment door. I almost didn't open it, expecting a lecture or, God forbid, a complaint. But instead, inside was a handwritten note. I was wrong. That was it. 3 words. And yet it shook me more than any argument could. A week later, she appeared at the local park, not in heels or designer suits, but in jeans and sneakers, holding a small backpack. Max ran up, curious. "I wanted to apologize," she said, kneeling to his level. "I've been so focused on being perfect that I forgot how to be human. I think I need to start over." Max grinned, offering her a muffin. "You can start by sharing this." She laughed, a real laugh, not the polished, sharp-edged kind she wore in public. And in that moment I realized something. No amount of money can buy humility, and no amount of status can replace kindness. Over the next few months, she became different, not just kinder to me or Max, but to the people around her. She volunteered at local shelters, spoke softly to strangers, and somehow it was contagious. People smiled more, people listened more, and somewhere along the way she discovered that the world is better when you lift others instead of stepping on them. As for me, I didn't change overnight. I'm still a single dad, still balancing life on 2 coffee cups and 1 paycheck. But now when Max and I walk through the park, we see people who've been reminded, sometimes in the strangest ways, that kindness matters more than money, more than status, more than fear. And if a rude billionaire woman can learn that lesson, well, maybe there's hope for the rest of us too. Because in the end, standing up for what's right isn't about fighting power. It's about showing that humanity, generosity, and courage are stronger than any bank account. A few months later, I got an unexpected call from her office. My heart skipped. I almost didn't answer. But Max was tugging at my sleeve again, and I reminded myself, kindness doesn't wait for fear. "Hello," she said, her voice softer than I remembered. I wanted to invite you and Max to something. It's a small charity event I'm hosting, and I want you both there, not as guests, but as partners." I hesitated. Me, a single dad? But I remembered the look on Max's face when she had laughed at the park. I remembered the small note she'd left under our door. "We'll be there," I said. The night of the event, I held Max's hand as we entered a lavish hall filled with people who seemed different, warmer, softer, somehow alive in a way money alone can't create. And there she was, the billionaire woman, no heels, no polished arrogance. Just a woman who had learned painfully and beautifully the power of humility. "Thank you for coming," she said, stepping toward us. "Tonight we're not just raising money. We're showing that everyone can make a difference no matter where they start." Max's eyes lit up. "We did a difference today?" I smiled. Yes, kiddo. We did. Later, as I watched her speak to volunteers, laughing freely, I felt something remarkable. Her transformation wasn't just for show. She had changed because someone, a kid and his dad, had reminded her of what really matters. And somehow, witnessing it, I felt change too. The event raised more funds than anyone expected. But the real reward wasn't the money. It was the way people came together, shared stories, and felt a spark of hope in a world that often feels cold and harsh. As Max and I left, she came up one last time, her eyes glistening. "You taught me something I'll never forget," she said. "Courage isn't about being fearless. It's about standing up for what's right, even when it's hard." And in that moment, I realized that life isn't measured by wealth or status. It's measured by the lives we touch, the kindness we give, and the courage we summon to make the world a little brighter. Max yawned, leaning against me, and I knew he understood, even if only a little. And as we walked home under the quiet glow of streetlights, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Hope. Real hope. Because sometimes the smallest act of standing up, the tiniest gesture of humanity, can ripple out and change everything.